Okay, so still dealing with exceptions to copyright. Previously, we looked at the UK's approach, which is fair dealing, and that's very much a selection of categories. And if you fall within one of those categories, it's okay. If you fall outside of those categories, even if overall it seems fair, it's not okay. The US, however, takes a very different approach, and they use what we call fair use, and it's more of a broad brush, and they consider 4 separate factors. Those are the purpose and character of the use, the nature of the copyrighted work, the amount and substantiality of what has been taken from the copyrighted work, and the effect of the use upon the potential market for the copyrighted work. Now, obviously, there's a little degree of overlap there. Criticism, parody, all the sort of ones we have here, they would be covered. But it's a much more holistic approach in the US. And again, we'll look at all this in more detail. This is just to give you an idea of the black letter law. But generally speaking, they look at how much effort you put in adding your little bit. What value did you add? If you just go up there and post a clip from your favourite film and say, I think this is great, well, that probably won't be fair use because you're not really adding anything to it. And the majority of the stuff up there is the original work. If, however, you want to break down a scene in a movie, comment on the cinematography or the script writing or the dialogue or the acting, then you probably could go into quite some detail so long as you were commenting on every single little bit. You were really adding something to it. It's not quite a sort of strict percentage thing, although obviously the more of the final product is your work rather than the original copyrighted work, that assists you. But that's what you've got to look at is, generally speaking, the overall test is, am I adding something to this? Or am I exploiting the work for my own use? Because, they do look at the effect on the market. If somebody can say, well, I don't need to buy a copy of this album or this video now because I can just go to YouTube and you're going to just play it there and then at the end say, wow, this is a really good album or something. That would affect, the legitimate sales for the copyrighted work. If, however, you were to sort of, break down a piece and in such a way you kept stopping and starting it so you couldn't listen to it anyway, that would probably be fair use because you're not really depreciating from the original creator's copyright and you're not sort of jumping on them bandwagon and just hanging on their coattails. So that's just like a very, very brief overview. Like I say, we will go into this in a lot more detail and in more practical sense. But for now, I just wanted to get the black letter law out of the way. But remember, fair use in the US, fair dealing in the UK. And we'll look at sort of other jurisdictions as well. All the UK stuff's based on the European Copyright Directive. So what you tend to find is that European countries have very, very similar copyright